Okay, so welcome to today's class. I warmly welcome to my Zoom audience, my colleagues, and also wherever you are. So I greet you with good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. This class is very profound for parent, for adult, and for carer or guardians, or who are directly or indirectly dealing with the children, um, and they have the problem how they can overcome or control or manage the problem within the children, especially when the child is too much screaming, when the child is too much in anger, always, when a child is always in an angry mood all the time or most of the time. Uh, so, because these things we don't learn in our schools and colleges and university, so therefore everybody has their own methods and pseudo scientific um, methods to control or managing the children when they are in difficult and very sensitive positions in home. Um, and that's why we have very rebellious teenage group all over the world uh, who are who are vulnerable and who are becoming more dangerous. Their tendency is to uh, was more knife related crime, more stabbing. They want to do. They talk about stabbing. They talks about drugs. They talks about sex, pornography. They more talk about um, those irrelevant things which they should not be involved with, because they have very poor dealing background by their parents or their teacher when they were very young, mostly six, um, 6, 7 years of their age till before they transfer into teenage, usually 12 or 13, 14. Uh, the psychology of 12 years old, 13, 14, 15, 16, little bit different than before earlier age of the teenage. Uh, my today's topic is addressing all type of children who does become monster for parents, and parents become too much aggressive with them because they can't uh, do acting of love with their children, because parents, they don't have a tool set, they don't have mindset uh, of right mindset to deal with the children. So we will try to understand why our children they do and how to do it. Most of the reading I have taken from the book The New Earth, Create a Better Life by Eckhart Tolle, who is the world renowned author as well. And that author has contributed amazingly in millions of people's life, and including myself and my audience as well, because they also love them as well, him as well. So the main topic of this, it is a series we started 2 3 years, 2 3 episode based. It was about how we can help our children to avoid pain body, because we transfer the pain in the children through my own physical, mental, or spiritual illnesses, and that children reflect in form of screaming, in form of being anger, in form of torture other, and even the children who are hating other people or children, they these are also reflection of their pain body which they stored through their parents, because parents have to and they are sort of disabled to control the children. So therefore they do very pseudo scientific activities to handle the children, and they actually now shouting, screaming, um, and hitting the children, because their children, they don't listen them. So that's why that's the domestic violence is too much everywhere, including America, UK, um, and the rest of the world, even in Asia. We have too much domestic violence. That domestic violence sometimes is initiated by the leader of the house. So leader of the house could be the father or dad, um, because because of the conflict between father and mother on a personal level regarding the development of the children is a biggest topic. So because um, male and female supervisor in the house uh, of the children, they don't have a one common vision that how they will raise the children. I mean, when we marry with each other, or when we plan to be pregnant, um, or to have a baby, then we don't discuss what type of baby we will raise, what the common vision we will have, or what the synergy we need in order to raise the child. And and because we are professional on that time, or business lady or businessman, we don't have time to discuss or work on this thing, and we put this thing in future, that when our children will be raising by us, we will see it's not a big problem. We are wise, we are intelligent, so we deal with it. But when the children are start to grow, and then the children, because of the behavior of the parents, because of the poor judgment of the parents about their family, about himself, about herself, about their children, so they transfer the pain body, induced pain body, the stored pain body, into the children. And children, they scream for nothing, they shout for nothing, and the leader of the house don't understand how they can react, how they can act according to the wisdom or on need of the moment. Therefore, either they will do the wrong method to handle it with love, I mean, so called love, without any scheme, without any proper vision, or we start to hit each other, we start to shout back on the children, and we do punish the children, um, we do other torture to the children as well. And other partner, if I'm a mom and I'm hitting my child for something, so uh, my husband will create problem for me and will ask me to stop, and I will not stop, because my child is so naughty, my child is too much um, fighting mode all time, and he is a monster or she is a monster, and my husband does not know, because my husband uh, all the time outside, and he does not know. I have to deal being a housewife to my children. I know how these my children are bad, in bad behavior. So I know how to handle them. So there is chaos all the time, and these toxicity is spread all over the home, and that is the main issue, how we can deal with it. So uh, we have four paragraphs, and we will try to understand how we can uh, handle and manage these important information. Remember, the more important paragraphs which we are reading are from the book, and this is not an ordinary book. This is the book which is dealing with the spiritual dimension of handling the children and managing the parents themselves. So I would ask my colleague Jenny if you can start reading, please.
Some children learn subliminally about ego and pain bodies simply by living with very unconscious parents. A woman whose parents both had strong egos and heavy pain bodies told me that often when her parents were shouting and screaming at each other, she would look at them and although she loved them, would say to herself, "These people are nuts. How did I ever end up here?" There was already an awareness in her of the insanity of living in such a way. That awareness helped reduce the amount of pain she absorbed from her parents.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great reading, Jenny. Thank you. So, that awareness helped reduce the amount of pain she absorbed from the parents. This awareness is so important, and that awareness um, are absorbing, we are learning, we are feeling at the moment, and because we mostly ignore the children. 95% we ignore the children when we are unconscious. And mostly when let's say, as a dad or as a mom, when I come home from my work, I will live very unconscious life, uh, in sense that obviously I will be tired or I need some break or space to do my own thing at home, and I don't care what happened the whole day or with my children or with my child. So with that unconsciousness or with that avoid factor, fr- and and with that factor that I want to keep myself away from my family when I come in the evening from my office, from my work. Uh, that unconsciousness or avoidance will make me in fear unconsciously, that there is something wrong happened or must have happened in the home, and I'm avoiding it. I'm in fear that I don't want to deal it because um, I I know what must be the done. So I'm in assumption mode, and not to involve in my family, because I want to live my own family. But because I don't want to take this responsibility, therefore I want to be unconscious parent until your child um, come in your room or in your space and tell dad, you know that, mom, you know that today this happened, and today this, and then if I have a positive energy, then I will listen properly, and then, which is very difficult. Um, or So it's a very difficult. Raising the children is not an ordinary thing. Raising the children is too um, too energetic and thing. It's a whole science um, that we need to learn. Um, and of course, at least the good readers, if we need to, when we are planning the baby or when the child is raising, like 1 year, 2 years old, then we should have a parent coach or parent mentors, from which we can learn a lot of things from the our mentor, that how to deal with children. That is a good point. Or by helping self, or reading the self-help books, we can also educate ourselves before uh, we do the wrong things with our children. So Parents often wonder how to deal with their children's pain body. The primary question is, of course, are they dealing with their own? Uh, do parents recognize it within themselves, their pain body? Are parents able to stay present enough when it becomes activated so that they can be aware of the emotion of the feeling level before it gets um, a chance to turn into thinking and thus into the unhappy person? So this is the Tolle is making us aware about uh, our own pain body becomes active when we dealing with our child's pain body, and we understand and before we need to manage our children, we need to manage ourselves, our pain body. But because our pain body is activated also, so therefore I will shout back to my child, I will shout back to my dear daughter, and even I will hit my daughter if she will not listen or do something a big mess in the house for some definite reason. For so they, that is the it's all about parents' own management, and that's we are learning this thing. But the important question is, we after copying our own activated pain body, we need to address the pain body of the children. And therefore, we need awareness. Therefore, we need a big, what is we call it, big vision in order to deal with the children. Um, let's see further what the Ikatole is saying. So I would ask Cynthia if you can read it, please.
While the child is having a pain body attack, there isn't much you can do except to stay present so that you are not drawn into the emotional reaction. The child's pain body would only feed on it. Pain bodies can be extremely dramatic. Don't buy into the drama. Don't take it too seriously. If the pain body was triggered by sordid wanting, don't give in that don't give in now to its demands. Otherwise the child will learn, the more unhappy I become, the more likely I am to get what I want. That is a recipe for dysfunction in later life. The pain body will be frustrated by your non reaction and may briefly act out even more before it subsides. Fortunately, pain body episodes in children are usually more short lived than in adults.
Thank you very much. I thank you. It's a great reading, Cynthia. Um, yeah, there is two main points which we can take. Th- that when the child is emotional, when the child is driven by immense emotion, obviously he or she is shouting, the child is into something difficult situation, and the biggest challenge for the parent is not to drawn into the situation at the level of child, uh, because pain body of the child will feed on it. The pain body of the child will more increase because it will help uh, the pain body to grow further. It can be triggered, uh, and it will ask that I'm a victim. I need more sympathy rather than to manage itself. And that is the main problem which parents do, that we do. Uh, we want to be drawn with the emotional state of child because we think that I need to be at the level of emotional state of the child so that I could understand my child well. But what happens? The drama start to happen, and that drama turns on and activate your own pain body, or trigger your own pain body as a parent. And then instead of you to address the child problem, you are now in clutches of your own pain body because of the drama. But because remember, the ego loves drama. Ego loves drama. And that drama, if you are become part when your child is emotional, then this drama will trigger your pain body and take you in past of in your childhood, and you will refer every problem of the child with your childhood, and then you will make some silly decision that I know why this has happened because it happened to me, and I will not make it happen to my child, and blah blah blah. And you will try to associate your past drama of your life with your current um, uh, drama with the child in the house, and therefore you become a very pseudo doctor for your child's problem, and you are stepping up into another problem, which will come again after a certain time. Uh, it may settle temporarily because of your energy. Your ego has created a fake energy, but of course, that's not the solution. The solution which Eckhart Tolle is referring, not to be drawn into the child's pain, that is, pain mean drama. Don't take it too seriously. Think on a bigger picture and just let it go. Just let it go because but your ego don't does not want to let it go, and you will say how my child did this, why he did this, why she did this. I want, I will go into the deep of the root, and I will and that we will try to become a god, that we are, and uh, we are in another trap. So uh, and also the child will understand that my mom or my dad is drawn into my emotional state, and he or she become more attentive to me and more caring for me. So next time he or she will become more unhappy. The child will itself become more inclined towards drama every time, and this drama series will start. So we want to stop that drama, or we want to uh, continue every episode every day, because child is going to learn that how that child can engage through drama uh, to her or his mom or dad into that. And child is silly, child is not very educated, and he or she loves to be drawn into that drama again and again. And that will will not solve the problem. In fact, that will reshape the problem into another big problem. So but the good thing is Eckhart Tolle is discloses a big fact. And the fact is that we are the children's are in pain body for shorter time. So it does mean if they are screaming, don't worry. That scream is for just for few seconds or minutes. So even the child is so, because child is on the God's nature, and God and nature does not stick with the shouting and thing, because they are love driven. Nature is love driven. Nature or God is a packet of love without ego. So therefore, the children or child will also forget it because it was very temporarily. So don't go in this. Instead of the adult have a long episodes of paid body. Um, and yeah, and this drama has to be finished. This drama has to be finished. We are too dramatic creature, as a human being, because of our ego, because we love to be feel victim, or we want to show other victim so that we can grab the other's attention, and we want to blame someone, that my current state is because of that because of that, and that never finish, uh, and because of my ego. So the adults, or the parents ego has to be dealt before we go into. Now there are a couple of quick things we can uh, deal with the child. And the Eckhart Tolle is saying the best thing that the next day you speak with child, you talk with child in private, in lonely, uh, without any letting the child know that I'm going to discuss with the previous with the last day. Why did you become monster? Why you screamed like a roller coaster, um, and um, and then you just sit like a friend and talk, and don't, and ask some nice question, some relevant question, so that the child can awaken. Child can feel divine power or divine feelings within. You, so Eckhart Tolle say you can ask the question, what was it came over to you yesterday when you wouldn't stop screaming. So ask your child this question: why you are screaming yesterday? What happened on you? Let the child to think, because remember, the screaming and shouting always people do, always children do, always parents do when they are unconscious. When they are unconscious, then nobody does scream, nobody does shout. Shouting, anger, screaming is always a product of our unconsciousness. So try to awaken the child, and you will only be help the child to awake if you are awakened, or at least you are aware, you know that. So ask other more question. Do you remember, my love? What did it feel like when you were screaming yesterday? Was it a good feeling? Um, that thing that came over to you, do you know what it came over to you? Can you name it? No or yes? Um, if it had a name, what it would be called? So try to interrogative, not in a like a police way, but in a way that the child will answer you after a deep thinking on his level. So ask what it would be like. Can you paint a picture of what it would be like when you become when you were screaming? What happened to it when it went away? Um, did it go to sleep? Do you think it may come back again? So try. So that makes the child very awakened. And if you see this picture, it is a beautiful picture, and I chose this picture um, to my um, to my advert of this class. And if you see that child, what is the beautiful uh, sorry, what is the beautiful uh, children and mums interaction in this photo? If you see, a child is listening to his mum very um, carefully, with focus. If you see that picture, I'm not sure if my Facebook audience is saying. Hello, Oshani. Hi. Um, I'm referring to the photo of the title of this video, of this class. Maybe on the Facebook page you can see it where a child is listening to his mom very carefully, very attentively. That's I'm talking about. So now let's read this beautiful conversation between child and the mom. So I would ask Jenny if you can I can read this, please.
These are just a few suggested questions. All these questions are designed to awaken the witnessing faculty in the child, which is presence. They will help the child to disidentify from the pain body. You may also want to talk to the child about your own pain body using the child's terminology. The next time the child gets taken over by the pain body, you can say, "It's come back, hasn't it?" Use whatever words the child used when you talked about it. Direct the child's attention to what it feels like. Let your attitude be one of interest, of curiosity, rather than one of criticism or condemnation.
Thank you. It's a great reading. Yeah, it is absolutely like Jenny just read it. Um, that if we don't know or we are not following what the Cartole is saying, then um, we will criticize or we will condemn our child for there to being monster or in a bad attitude or very silly behavior they do, or their behavior full of embarrassment. um, I know a lot of parents when their child are doing something silly or naughty things in front of relatives or friend and family or outside in public, when in a grocery shop, then a child lay down on the ground and say, I need that toy, I need a, I will, and that child is swearing. That time, look at the pathetic face of the mom or the dad, how they will be handling. It is a big question. And mostly we feel real embarrassment. Oh my God, what he is doing in the grocery. Does he not know that we are here for buying milk, or I'm here for shopping something? It's not a toy shop. And that embarrassment actually is not reflecting the problem in the child. Actually, that embarrassment is reflecting your own state of consciousness as a parent. Because if you were consciously aware or awakened or have this awareness, you will be ignoring your child at this state, and you will deal your child next day and will talk um, about, oh, why you were screaming in the supermarket yesterday. I want to learn about this, baby. Um, or you don't know that I did promise you I will give you that toy when I, you will uh, get some distinction or good marks from the school or something. And did I promise to you or not? Talk separately, and then you are able to uh, make your child aware about what did he or she wrong in the supermarket. And your embarrassment, the child is not responsible. The children's are like that. If you haven't expected that your child will lie down on the ground in the supermarket and throwing the pampers and throwing tempers and or maybe the breaking the things in the supermarket, it is not his fault. It is probably the fault you did not make your child very well trained and very well awakened or aware of what he or she is trying to. uh, make your attention that he or she needs that thing. Why didn't you did not work on your child separately, and you allow your child to behave this? Why he have why your child has arrived on this point where he is lying down in a supermarket in front of uh, public? You are responsible because you living unconscious life as a parent, and your unconsciousness made your child unconscious, and he is also unconscious. So whose unconscious needs to be blamed to? Your unconscious or your child unconscious? Your unconscious as a parent, of course, because you are a guardian of the parent. Why you plan the baby? Why you train? I mean, raise your children. Why you decided to have child? If you didn't have the education, or you didn't, you were not ready for children to look after, you don't have to. You should have used condoms. So why you did this? So there is a problem with our parents when, and I know many family members, they turns their children as unwanted children in later their life, and they say she or he was not ready for that child. Oh my God! And and I heard some horrible story when the children, they hand over the child to the orphan house or to someone who needs the children. Um, but mostly parents, they don't give their children to some other family member because of course they are parents, they have some love for their children, but they are happy to give their child to uh, in the same atmosphere what they are giving, unconscious life, screaming, shouting, domestic violence based, and that's how they were grown up, and that's why the childrens are, they deserve to grow. So uh, to having a children is the biggest responsibility, very biggest responsibility, and we need to have his training as a parent, as a guardian, um, and engage your child if he or she has something which shouldn't be. Um, Jenny has a comment. She says, "This is a safe place, very sweet and loving to return back to validate the humanity of the child's need."
Oh, that was earlier. It was
Oh yeah,
based on one of the, I
sorry.
think, a couple other slides.
Oh yes, I just realized you have sent me the message. Uh, yeah, so that's how we need to do. And I have the last paragraph is about um, there are beautiful faces. You know what make the child a child. Um, I personally believe that a child is born on a God's nature. Like God is innocent, God is egoless, God is full of love, God um, is always in present moment, and only feels a present moment. There is no past and future for God. Exactly, then every child is like this, and therefore the child, whether they look uh, from their face point of view, if they look ugly or belongs to a poor background, that child still have a God's nature. It is my perception. Um, it is my poor education that I don't understand children, or I did not see the innocence in in not in my child, in any child, whether these child are from Africa, these children are from Asia, these children are from Northern Europe, these children are from South America, or 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 less privileged areas in the country where children's um, even don't have a clean water to drink. It's out of the question. The question is, do we have a really conscious spirit to feel the God within the child? Do we have a capacity to awaken the child's enough so that the child does not shout or scream or become monster or create problem not for only children, not for only parents, but also for the society? So for me, the children, or having a child, or dealing with the child, or look after the child, or raising the children is the most beautiful thing anybody could have. And um, let's see the last paragraph, what the Eckhart Tolle is saying in the book. So I would ask Cynthia if you can read it and then we finish it. We will have some valuable your comments as well.
It is unlikely that this will stop the pain body in its tracks, and it may appear that the child will not even be hearing you, yet some awareness will remain in the background while the pain body is active. After a few times, the awareness will have grown stronger and the pain body will have weakened. The child is growing in presence. One day you may find that the child is the one to point out to you that your own pain body has taken control of you. Boy, that's true.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that's sweet. Many times, very poor parents, I mean, poor energy-driven parents, or pain body-driven parents have very strong children. Um, and because the children have always capacity to learn and grow and nurture very well, uh, with limited even resources, they can grow. It's like a lotus. Have you seen the lotus, the flower? Uh, it's a beautiful. It's my life's inspiration. The lotus, it grows, and in the muddy water, garbage, and in a very poor environment that uh, that flower lotus has, but it grows amazingly. It grows very well, and it makes the whole muddy or dirty environment beautiful. Um, and nobody could imagine that what a dirty place it was. And now in that dirty place, a lotus is there, a beautiful flower is there, and it is a great inspiration. So here in this scenario, the children, if the dirty environment is our pain body, is our poor knowledge as a parent, is our backwardness, is our unconsciousness, is all dirty away, and poor uh, atmosphere, and awakening and presence in the child, or becoming a distinguished a child from a poor parents, a uneducated or backward parent, is a lotus. S- is the metaphor for lotus, that the children have always tendency, uh, and I know many parents, because I'm also dad. I know through many other people, from their other parents. They say that, you know, because of my own gaps and unfulfillment in my life, my poor and very different childhood experiences, very complex background I had. I don't want to make my child in that atmosphere, in that thing. Therefore, I want to see my child totally disassociate from my own background, and I want my child to grow in a different and higher place, higher level of conscious, higher level of better place than I used to be. And even I don't want to share my own pains, my own bad experiences with my child. So what happened? That child, there will be a big gap between your child's mentality and your own experience. And instead of being that victimized thinking, instead of become product of your past as a parent, become the product of pain body of your or childhood experience, why you want to keep with that pain body still? Come on, man. Come on. You don't need to be associate yourself with your past. That is the biggest question. That is the challenge for to be awakened. And you have decided that you will remain in your bad past, uh, and you trying to become a super parent, not to involve your child in your past. Why you want to involve your child, and why you want to involve your past within your current life? Why you don't want to live in a present moment? Whatever happened in your previous life is nothing to do with your present, and that is your backwardness, that is your illiteracy, which will your child, which will pull out your child into your life any time in your life, anyway. And your child will know that what the pathetic life you used to have, because you are not out of your pathetic or victimized life. How? And once your child will know it, your child will bother it, and maybe your child, it will not helpful good thing for your child to drag him or her into your past life, because he is or she is your child. And if they are on a different flight, let them flown in a different sky. um, and also you need to also on a different sky ra- of your bad past experience. So um, your children will be, like Eckhart say, one day you may find that your child is one to the point out of you, and your own pain body has taken control on you. So uh, your pain body is your past. So of course it will remain with you all the time, but you must um, try, not try actually, try is not a good word. You must act and come out from depression, come out from your past life, live in present moment. That's enough for you. And past is a hoax. Past does not exist. It only exists in your memory, in your brain. There only exist. So if you have this mastery to avoid past, believe me, your life will be like heaven, and your children will be super children again. Uh, so that is the one of the spiritual dimension Eckhart Tolle wanted to share through his book, that how we can uh, manage our child screaming and angry position when they are. What do you think? What other ways we can manage our children not to scream, or before screaming, how we can cope it? Do you have any suggestion or your own um, experience? Or Shani, you can share by writing, or you can also tell us what's your own experience, or general, if you can. Yes, Cynthia.
Well, I know on several occasions when I would take Heather to the grocery store with me, she would act up because she would want something. So at first I was a little embarrassed and I just wanted to pick her up and put her in the cart and go home. One time this one woman said, just walk to the end of the aisle, finish your shopping, let her see that you're leaving, and maybe she'll realize that um, she should be getting up and going with you. That worked a couple times. As she got older, I said to her, I'm going to the grocery store today. And I had mentioned it to her that about I need you to be um, to behave because I thought it was bad behavior, but not bad behavior. It was typical child behavior. And so I asked her, I said, well, do you think that you'll be able to behave in the store? And she said, well, maybe. I said, okay, you think about that, and I will think about if I want to take you to the store. And she said, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you take me to the store? I said, because I don't want to have to go through what you've been doing and acting up. So you would have to behave if you really wanted to go with me. And that worked. But, you have to be honest with them as long as they're at that right age to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah,
That's really good, Cynthia,
yeah.
to give her a choice, to be like, hey, I'd like to go to the store, but, if basically if you can't behave, then I understand. I can just go ahead and go without you. But if you can behave, I'd love for you to come.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
they make a choice, like, oh, well, I don't want to behave today. Okay, well, thanks for telling me. I'll see you at 3.
well, one other time, I forget how old Heather was, but I took Heather and a friend to the store. Every time I turned around to put something in the cart wasn't there. They were off running around in the store. So I had said to the manager, who I happened to go to school with, I knew him very well. I said, my daughter is here with her friend. They're running around the store with the cart. I've spoken to them a few times. Can I have all my grocery shopping done, have my cart back. I check out, and here is Heather and Debbie standing in the front of the store, almost like at attention. And I said, what are you girls doing? And they said, well, the manager told us we had to stand up here until you were done shopping. I said, oh, how nice. Now I know where you are. Next time we were going to go shopping, I was going to take the two girls, and I said, well, you want to go shopping with me? And they said, no, we don't want to stand up in front of the store again.
Yeah. Right.
So it does
That,
work.
that,
Not always, but
That
hopefully,
was great
you
help.
you know, it gets better. I'm
well,
experiencing some of that with my grandson now.
that's great to know. So let me summarize the whole our today's episode and the previous episode about the children and managing them, and especially the pain body in the children, based on Eckhart Tolle's teaching. The key questions and points are: the parents may watch helplessly in incomprehension and disbelief as their little angel become transformed within a few seconds into a little monster. Yeah, that is one of the uh, point we now acknowledge it. we aware about this. The second point important, which I have selected for you, the children are not fooled by parents who try to hide their pain body from them, who say to each other, we must not fight in front of the children. So, uh, obviously, um, it's good that we say we commit with my partner that we must not fight with uh, in front of children. But the big question is we must not fight anymore anyway. Why in front of children? So our passion, our spirit must be we must not fight ever, not in front of children. But even if we are behind the children and fighting with each other as a husband and wife, the negative vibes, the negative energy will resonate your home. It it spreads with um, the walls. It will subside with the walls of your home. Don't don't forget it. That your all negative vibes and energy will have negative energy which transformed into your children, even you are or going with your partner in another room. So that is how it is sensitive. So that is one of the point which I will take away. Parents often wonder how to deal with their children in pain. Yeah, parents always good parents always learn. I remember I there are different behaviors in within my child, within my children in different years, in different months. So instead of dealing my own methods or quick methods to handle, or I actually always have a habit to learn about this, going into the um deep thinking, why it is happening, what are the root cause of this thing. Is it because of me? Is it because of my family? Is it because of my child? Is it because of this? It is because. So I try to um, think from all dimensions, and then obviously I have a couple of mentors as well, through which I read books. uh, so then I get to know a good level of awareness, and then I may make a strategy based on wisdom, and then I reapproach to my child or to my family for certain cause, what is a challenge in the family, and it always helped me. Yeah, but mostly parents, they don't care because they are unconscious. But I'm talking about the conscious parent, responsible parents who think they are responsible. I'm talking about them. And 5 to 10% parents are only responsible. They feel they are responsible. 90% they don't want to feel their responsibility. The next point is some children learn subliminally about ego and pain body simply by living with the very unconscious parent. That's we learned today. While the child is having a pain body attack, there is no much you can do except to stay present, that you are not drawn into emotional reaction. That is the biggest take I will take, and my audience will take, that never be emotional uh, reaction with your child, and not the part of the drama. Drama must be closed all time. The child love drama, you love drama, being a ego, because ego loves drama. That we have to come out if we want to control the situation for next time forever. The more unhappy I become, the more likely I'm to get what I want. Perhaps the next day you can talk to your child about what happened, my love. After a few times, the awareness will have grown stronger, the pain body will have weakened, because the child is growing in presence. Child must be grow in presence. So that's it. That's all about our today's pain body. Um, the children's point of view, pain body is there. So, and you can join my YouTube channel. There may be the link somewhere under the video. You can visit my blog website where I do write on personal development, spirituality, and business productivity as well. So, on my blog website, which is with my name, marathibalishad.com. Next week, we will continue to a new series which we started last week about um, ABC of success, if you remember. So that new series we will start. We will continue. Actually, last week we did introduction for that ABC of success. What mean by success? Uh, so in coming episode, we will learn 10 steps, 10 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. That in 10 steps, how we can be on the path of success, uh, business success. Mainly it is for business success. And also you can refer it to the personal success as well. So it is also amazing series. Um, in every episode, I will try to read and facilitate you for 1 or 2 steps in every episode. So that is a amazing series. You can invite your friend and family and business colleague as well. Every week we come um, on every Sunday, 1 p.m. UK time, and maybe this 1 hour will change some positive impact on your life. So thank you very much and see you next Sunday.
Everyone have a great week.
Thank you, Mary
Thank you.
Tib. Bye, Cynthia.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye. Bye.